I did some shopping while in Japan and got a pretty good understanding of the prices, especially on the pre-loved market. So I wanted to share some of my favorite pieces that I found and also the prices of some of the classic handbags as well. And then I also had a whole experience at Goyard. So I wanted to share that as well, especially because Goyard's prices are so hidden. So, if you're planning a trip to Japan or you're just curious about the prices in Japan, this is the video for you. My name is Laine and I talk about luxury fashion. So, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also leave me a comment so that I know that you enjoy the content you're watching. So, let's start. And I have all the prices written down in front of me. And let's start with Goyard. Okay, so Goyard is notoriously famous for hiding their prices online. But before my trip, I did some digging and I found a number of websites that all showed the same information. Now, I'm not going to name any of the websites because I think it's irrelevant. However, if you Google Goyard Prices Japan 2024, you're going to find at least one of them. So then, based on the prices that I saw on these websites, I thought I was going to get a bargain because the price was significantly less expensive than here in Europe. And I kind of automatically assumed that it was because of the weak yen. Now, fast forward to my last day in Tokyo, in which I finally went to the Goyard store and I asked them about this bag, the Artois MM, in green in particular. I didn't want it in any other colors and I also wasn't interested in any other bags. I just wanted this bag. And they told me that unfortunately it was sold out. However, they did have one still available in Osaka, which was very lucky because I was supposed to go to Osaka the next day. However, they told me that unfortunately they cannot reserve it. And then a miracle happened, and as you can see, the bag was still available to purchase. But then DSA showed me the price, and you cannot imagine the shock on my face when I saw it because it was 100,000 euro, no, sorry, yen, 100,000 yen more expensive than what I had seen on those websites. Now let me get my notes with all the numbers. So 100,000 yen is around 630 euros, which is approximately 660 US dollars and 520 British pounds. So that is a significant difference. That's not just a couple of 7-Eleven onigiris. That is quite a significant sum. So basically, the price of these websites for the Artois MM was marked as 297,000 yen, which is around 1,870 euros. And allegedly, the current price in Europe in euros is 2,200, which means I thought I'll be saving around 400 euros by buying it in Japan. However, the actual price turned out to be 394,900 Japanese yen, which is currently around 2,500 euros, approximately 2,630 US dollars, and 2,060 British pounds. The yen was a little bit weaker when I bought it because I paid exactly 2,423 euros and 62 cents. Okay, so as you can see, I ended up buying the bag anyway since I had been chasing it for a while. So I know that I probably paid over the retail price here in Europe, but it made sense to me because I won't have to go to any more Goyard stores. I won't have to stand in any more lines. So I basically paid for the convenience and for not wasting my time trying to find this bag. And then, of course, I can already start using it. So I think that it was worth it. But the lesson here is that I strongly recommend for you not to trust the prices visible on these websites because whoever came up with those numbers, they clearly have no clue of the actual Goyard bag prices at the boutiques. My theory is that one person got false information or just somehow randomly came up with these numbers, and then the other websites copied them. And that is the definition of don't believe everything that you see online. So it's safe to say that you can add around 100,000 Japanese yen to the prices visible on those websites. And then maybe you'll be close to the actual prices at the Goyard boutiques. So, for example, it says that the Artois GM size, which is one size up from the bag that I have, is 326 4,000 yen. So I assume that it actually costs around 430,000 yen. So guys, be careful and always have an offline currency converter so that later when you get home, you don't have any unpleasant surprises. I also want to quickly mention the scene of the pre-loved Goyard bags in Japan, and honestly, it is quite sad. There weren't that many bags, and even if I did find some, the condition and the price wasn't that great. So, for example, I did see a brown St. Louis tote and it was 1,900 euros. Unfortunately, I don't remember the price in yen because I only took note in euros, but yeah, it was 1,900, which was not that far from retail. And then I also saw a green St. Louis tote, so the same color, but the St. Louis tote, and it was 2,250. So that is really, really close to retail. So I wouldn't really recommend trying to find a pre-loved Goyard bag in Japan. I think you would have to get very, very lucky. And I think if you're looking for the best price, it's definitely in Europe, in Paris, in Milan. That's where they have the boutiques, and that's where you would probably get the best price possible. The color is a bit tricky because those are very popular locations. They have very long lines, so you may have to wait longer and you may not get the color that you wanted, but you will definitely get the best price. Okay, and now let's move on to Chanel, and let's start with the most beautiful pre-loved Chanel bag that I have ever seen, which was this medium Chanel classic flap with stripes, and it also had a detachable pearl strap. It was made of this like very soft jersey material, and the bag cost 650,000 Japanese yen, which at the time was 4,000 euros. So an absolutely unbelievable deal, because right now a tweed medium classic flap costs 9,800 euros. So it's nearly, no, it's more than 2 times less expensive than retail price. And this bag is just absolutely stunning. Perfect for spring, summer, on a yacht. Unbelievable, such a beautiful bag. Then I also wanted to touch on vintage black and gold lambskin leather Chanel classic flaps. And honestly, the situation was quite sad. The bags didn't look that great. So, first of all, there weren't very many, especially not in a great condition, and most of them cost between 500 to 800,000 Japanese yen. There wasn't anything for less than 3,000 euros, which was, I mean, it was unbelievable to find for that price. Most of them were 4 to 5,000 euros, and like I said before, they did not look great. They looked like they had lived 20 lifetimes already. And I swear that in every single pre loved store that I went into, there were girls trying on black and gold vintage Chanel classic flaps. So the demand for these bags is incredibly high, which is why I don't think that there are that many left in a really good condition. So I don't know, guys, if it's the bag that you're looking to get. I don't know if Japan is the best place for that anymore, at least based on my personal observations. Maybe there was a store that I didn't know about and they have amazing, very good looking vintage Chanel classic flaps, but I think you have a much better chance of finding one that is like a seasonal classic flap, for example, like the striped one, for a good price and in a really good condition. Because, for example, the striped one, it was in an amazing condition. It looked brand new, like it's just off the runway, and it was made of a jersey material. So I would say that focus on that, focus more on seasonal bags. And then we're also going to talk about the new classic flaps. So for example, we have this pastel green one, which was 1.6 million Japanese yen, which is around 10,200 euros, and the retail price of the same bag is 10,300 euros. You're paying for the color. Then we have a white caviar one for 1.5 million, which is around 9,500 euros. Again, very close to store price. And then there was this beautiful emerald green lambskin and also a top, like beige top-ish caviar one. And each one of them was 1.4 million Japanese yen, which is approximately 8,900 euros. This is slightly under retail, but still very expensive. This, I wouldn't call this a bargain. Let's just put it that way. Then I saw this black and silver tweed medium flap for 698,000 yen, which is around 4,450. This is already better, but it's tweed. So it really depends on what you want. And then I also saw a beautiful metallic one in a different store for nearly 1 million with tax, which is around 6,400 euros. This one's okay. It's like the retail price from 3 years ago, as crazy as it sounds. Next up, I have Chanel minis. And the situation with minis is that I didn't see that many. I think that they're also very popular. I didn't see a single mini that was in a neutral color and in a great condition. But I did see a few in a pop of colors. So, for example, we have this Barbie pink caviar mini with silver hardware, and it was 558,000 Japanese yen, which is around 3,500 euros. And also a pink tweed mini for 580,000 yen, which is around 3,700 euros. Currently, tweed minis retail for 4,600 euros. So it's nearly €1,000 discount, and that's already it's a good discount for a mini. I would say it's worth it. Moving on to jumbos, and I thought that there would be more, but unlike the vintage small Chanel classic flaps, the jumbos, they were in a good condition. Like they were in a really good condition. But again, I don't think I saw that many because I think people just bought them all, because the prices used to be very good. So the people bought them like hotcakes and now they're gone. So the ones that are left, they have to increase the price because otherwise they would just have nothing left. And clearly there's a demand for these bags. And so, for example, I saw quite a few that were priced around 800,000 yen, which is 5,100 euros. Now, this is a great deal. So, even with this price, even now that they have priced them more expensive than they were before, I think that 5,000 euros for a Chanel Jumbo in a very good condition, that's a good price. So this is something, if you're interested in getting a jumbo, you have a shot. Now let me quickly show you some of the other vintage bags that I saw. So for example, I have this vintage jumbo with the XXL logo in jersey with Chanel written all over it. And this one was 980,000 Japanese yen, which is currently around 6,200 euros. Then I have the GST tote in a very good condition. It was priced at 250,000 yen, which is around 1,600 euros. Then I also saw a couple of Gabrielle bags in leather and in fabric. They were priced similarly at around 230,000 yen, which is 1,500 euros. A great deal if you love the Gabrielle bag. Now, this is a bag that if you really love, it is worth to go to Japan for. I also saw quite a few large Coco handle bags, large in particular. Some of them in the small, some of them in the medium, but mostly they were large. And for example, this one was 550,000 yen, which is around 3,500 euros. Then another thing that I was interested in getting, something that everybody always buys in Japan, especially if they love luxury designer fashion, I really wanted a piece of Chanel costume jewelry. But the prices really surprised me because everything was priced at least 700 euros, which is quite a lot for like 30-year-old metal. I know I'm probably going to luxury designer fashion hell for saying that, but I mean, at the end of the day, these are 30-year-old metal earrings that you're asking nearly 1,000 euros for, or even more, depending on the size of them. So, yeah, I thought that they were gonna be like 200, 300. That's a bargain. That's something I'm willing to pay for them. But 700, 800, 1,000, 1,200, no, that's crazy. So that's something that I immediately removed from my wish list. But on the other hand, what did surprise me was that they had quite a few of the Chanel Premier watches. They were almost in every single store that I went into, and they all looked like they were in a very, very good condition. Most of them were priced at around 200,000 yen, which is around 1,300 euros. And the current retail price at the store of that exact same watch is 6,350 euros, which means that you literally save 5,000 euros by going vintage. That's like a business class return ticket to Japan, okay? So you could go to Japan, buy this watch, and it would literally be the same price as one watch in Europe. So yeah, that is a really good bargain, and I really hope that they're still going to have some of them the next time that I go, because I would love to go again. I would love to see more of Japan. I think that it is such a beautiful country, and so, yeah, that's something that I'm putting on my wish list to buy the next time, because I had already bought a watch. So I wasn't really interested in getting another watch. It would have been a little bit of an overkill. But yeah, this is something that if you like this watch, go to Japan. Go to Japan. Okay, guys, so the video got a little bit long, so I think I'm gonna have to split it into two parts. So if there's going to be interest in this video, I'm going to do a part two with more designer brands like Hermes, Dior, Fendi, Cartier. I have so many more prices that I can share. So if this is something that you're interested in, please leave me a handbag emoji. I think that that would be very on theme. And also don't forget to like this video. And then of course, if there is something in particular that you're trying to find pre-loved, you can ask me about it in the comment section below, and I'll tell you about the situation in Japan, what I saw, if it's something that you should be able to find or if it's not worth it. So just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you again soon, and stay safe, everyone.